Toy Fair New York is right around the corner, and Hasbro is set to reveal what's first in their upcoming Ghostbusters toy line. But before we get to that point, I thought it'd be fun to take a step back and count down the top 5 things I want Hasbro to do with the Ghostbusters license. As always, be sure to comment down below if you agree with the list here, or if there's something you'd like to add, be sure once again to let me know down below in that comment section. Number 5, Ghostbusters Nerf. You have Ghostbusters, you have Nerf, they're now under the same umbrella. Let's make it happen. Could you imagine a Proton Pack themed Nerf gun? You have all the spongy balls in the back of the Proton Pack. They shoot through a tube that goes to the Proton Wand. Like, I would have lost my mind if something like that existed when I was a kid. And yes, I do remember that Kenner did have some Nerf-esque style items, like some of the guns and the poppers. But with the release of Ghostbusters Afterlife coming up, Hasbro, make it happen. Ghostbusters Nerf. Number 4, reissues of Kenner's Real Ghostbusters toy line. I mean, I think this has to happen. This is a given, right? Kenner recently did the reissues of the classic Star Wars figures, so this seems like a no-brainer. Fans have been asking for this for years upon years upon years. Heck, back in 2018, we made an April Fool's joke up on the website that actually stated that the Real Ghostbuster figures were getting re-released. And we saw a hell of a response. It was pretty hurtful though to actually break all your guys' hearts and let you eventually know that it was in fact an April Fool's Day joke. I mean, it's almost 2 years later and I'm still getting occasional hate mail for that. But seriously, this seems like a no-brainer. Make it happen, at least with the standard line. Like Series 1, Peter, Ray, Winston, Egon. Throw in Slimer, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the Ecto-1, and the Firehouse. If everything sells well, continue it. Re-release some of the other figures, or maybe release some figures that never actually wound up seeing the light of retail shelves. Once again, Hasbro, the Real Ghostbusters classic toy line, make it happen. Number 3, figures based around the original Ghostbuster films. I would assume they'd be kind of around the same scale as what we see with the Star Wars Black series from Hasbro, but I would love to see Hasbro spin on Ray, Peter, Winston, Egon, Gozer the Gozerian, Vigo the Carpathian, the Scoleri brothers, Slimer. Once again, I'm sure this is going to happen. I'm just curious how they're going to look. They could go a little bit more realistic, kind of like, once again, what we see with the Star Wars Black Series line. Or maybe more of an animation kind of vibe. Kind of similar to what we see with IDW Comics' Ghostbusters comic series. Either way, I'm sure we're going to get figures with the likenesses of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson. You can't make Ghostbuster figures without doing that. And speaking of film figures, number 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife figures. This is another one that is a given, and we don't really know too much about the film. I mean, at least in terms of how characters are going to wind up looking. Are we going to see Finn Wolfhard's character eventually throw on a flight suit and a proton pack? Paul Rudd ever going to wear a proton pack in the film? I don't know. How are the original Ghostbusters going to look in the film? Once again, I don't know. But I can tell you what, I want action figures based around them. Oh, and how can I not mention how toyetic that Ecto-1 is? Gunner chair on the side, I mean, I need this in action figure form. I don't care what the scale is, Hasbro, just give it to me. Give it to me now. And coming in at number 1, 1-in-1 scale, Black Series props. Yeah, Hasbro made Proton Packs. That has to become an actual thing, right? And yes, I'm only using the Black Series name because that's what, well, Hasbro calls their Star Wars line. And they've released some tremendous props already of lightsabers and helmets. And I know Spirit Halloween has already released things like, well, their Proton Pack, but it's not full scale. And even outside of the Proton Packs, we could see ghost traps, we could see ecto goggles. And of course, we've also got this brand new film, Afterlife, coming out. New props most likely will be shown off in that too. Oh, and of course, real Ghostbuster props. Can't forget those. I mean, really, the sky is the limit now that Hasbro has the master toy license for Ghostbusters. And that about does it for this list. Did you agree with it? Let me know down below in the comments section. And if there's anything you'd like to see Hasbro release for the Ghostbusters line that I didn't mention, once again, let me know down below in that comment section. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, click that bell notification icon, sign up to our Patreon page, Patreon link down below in the description, and I will see you right back here next time, Ghostbusters News, right here on YouTube.